here. Time for another one of my WatchGeek watch unboxing videos. This isn't really an unboxing per se. It's kind of an untubing. What do I mean by that? Well, I've got a Doxa watch, and if you know anything about the Swiss brand Doxa, you know that their packaging is a little bit different than just a regular box that it has an outer and inner box kind of thing. This cool tube, it's supposed to replicate a scuba tank, an air tank, is what the watch is housed in. It's true that Doxa is actually designed as a diver's watch, and the distinct orange dial on the watch is, from what I have been told anyway, the last color to disappear from the spectrum underwater as you're diving. So let's just get right in and take a look at this. We pull off the little rubber cap here, and then out slides some foam to keep everything safe. And this is just a pretty basic unboxing. There's not a whole lot going on here. We'll fold that open. And then we've got the warranty card right there. I still have it in the bubble wrap. And then this is what's contained in it. We have a Baragon or Bergeron, I always mispronounce that, screwdriver. They make some fantastic tools. And the fact that they have this screwdriver that's included with the little kind of scalloped edge there, it's a really nice tool for adding or removing links to your watch, or changing the strap. You could use this to take the spring bars off. And here's the watch. Now, Doxa does make dial colors besides orange, and they have a nomenclature to tell you what dial you're getting. The Doxa Professional has the orange dial, for example. The Doxa Diving Star, if you hear that particular term, you know that it's going to be a yellow dial, the Doxa. The Sea Rambler is kind of a silver dial, and so on and so forth. And they made different series at different times for different depth ratings. This is the Doxa SUB 600T Professional. And you see, other than Doxa Automatic and then the SUB 600T Professional, there's not much else on the dial. It's meant to just be a very clean dial. Sometimes you'll have a special edition or a limited edition, and you might have a logo there from a preservation or conservation project that has to do with the ocean, as you might see on some other models. But this is just very straightforward, other than, if you take a look at the back of the watch, other than the fish logo, you'll see Clive Cussler Limited Edition. Clive Cussler, the author, actually founded the National Underwater Marine Agency. How did that come to pass? Well, in Clive Cussler's books, NUMA, National Underwater Marine Agency, was a fictional agency that was dedicated to various preservation projects, retrieval of shipwrecks. Sometime after Cussler had come up with the concept for NUMA in his books, he actually made it a reality and founded the real National Underwater Marine Agency that still exists today. Cussler was the chairman of that organization until just a few months ago, when he passed away in February of 2020. Also, if you take a look at the clasp, you've got a very nice folding clasp, closes very securely. You've got the Doxa name and the fish logo alongside of that beautiful grains of rice or beads of rice bracelet, however you refer to it as. And then on the winding crown, you also have that fish logo as well. One thing I didn't talk about is, and you saw it when I did the close-up of the dial, but this watch has a very interesting rotating bezel, and it has decompression times on there. So this is really meant to be a very useful diving tool. I like to wear it because I simply like the fact that it's rugged and robust, and it has a dial color that you don't really see a lot of. This is a really cool watch. It's got some interesting features to it. It's got a really clean dial, but as I said, again, the bezel has 5-minute graduations. It's actually marked in Arabic numerals, 5, 10, 15, 20, in addition to the minute markers. And then also the graduations for the decompression times if you're diving. This isn't the truest unboxing because I've had this for quite a while and I've been wearing it for quite a while. You can see some of the orange in the bezel is a little bit faded, but nonetheless, I wanted to put this back together to show you what we have here in terms of a really interesting example of a Swiss watch, an automatic movement, very finely crafted, but something that you don't really see a lot of. And it really gets overlooked. It really gets passed by the Rolexes and the Omegas and the Breitlings of the world. If you're looking to get something that's kind of high quality, but you want something a little bit different and you don't want to float the mainstream and just have the same Rolex Submariner diver's watch on your wrist like everybody else, you can find this for considerably less than you would find a Rolex Submariner or a Rolex Sea Dweller or an Omega Seamaster or something along those lines, which would be a comparable diver that you would have on your wrist. Also interesting to note, I just want to take one more quick look at this dial just to point out the fact that the seconds hand is kind of unusual because it has kind of a little block there with some luminescence, and then you can see that the minute hand is noticeably larger than the hour hand. If you're underwater, obviously you'd want to see that seconds hand. You would want to know if there was a problem with your watch and that seconds hand stopped moving. With that bright lume, you would be able to tell. So that's why the design is the way that it is for this particular watch. Just some really cool features, things that you don't usually see on your mainstream watch. I would venture a guess that most people, if you only had one or maybe two watches, you've got a black dialed watch and a white dialed watch, or maybe a black dialed watch and a blue dialed watch. And again, I said it before, but it bears repeating. Orange doesn't really come up a lot, but sometimes you do see this in the Clive Cussler movie, Sahara, which was actually based on the novel. The movie starred Matthew McConaughey, and in the movie, Matthew McConaughey actually wore one of these watches. Also, in the movie 3 Days of the Condor from 1975, I believe, Robert Redford wore not the traditional orange, but a black dialed Doxa, and he wore it on a bund strap instead of the traditional grains of rice bracelet. So as often as you don't see this watch, it has gained some popularity, and it's been out there for a while, and there are people that wear this watch and appreciate it, and I'm proud to say, myself included. So anyway, just some interesting information about a very interesting watch. Thought that I might share. The Doxa SUB 600T. That's all I've got for you today. I'm Dan, and in case you couldn't already tell, I'm a huge watch geek. Thanks for checking out my video.